हॅलो एव्हरीवन स्टुडंट्स. हाय, आवाज येतो ना व्यवस्थित? ओके. आज आपण वेगळ्या ह्याच्यात जायचं आहे. अँजिओस्पर्मच्या फ्लावरिंग प्लांटमधलं फक्त फ्लावर बघायचं आहे. विल लुक ॲट हिअर दी slide showing a very attractive and important flower structure. That flower, what is mean by flower? That answer that this flower is nothing but modified shoot. That means originally it is a shoot organs. Why? Look at here. This is the stem and leaf. In between that, the reproductive parts is formed. That is the axillary bud. Then functions as and modified into the flower structure. So as to a modified shoot organ is called as a flower and constituted about different parts. The flower has typically having their stalk. That stalk is called as a petiole. What it is called as a petiole. Petiole is present, it's called as a petiolate. आणि जर petiole नसेल तर काय म्हणायचं? दॅट इज द सेसाईल फ्लावर्स. मोस्टली अकॅथेसी मेंबरमध्ये आपल्याला सेसाईल फ्लावर मिळत असतं. किंवा तुम्ही हे पाहिलं असेल निशिगंधाच्या फुलाला देठ नसतो. देठ नसणाऱ्या फ्लावरला काय म्हणायचं? दॅट इज द सेसाईल फ्लावर. सो दिस पार्ट इज ए पर्टिक्युलर द स्टॉक दॅट इज द petiole called as a petiolate flower. And absent it is called as a sessile flowers. Then we go through this petiole, and some other outgrowths are also present on that next to the petiole, that is called as bracts. These are the outgrowths. If bracts are present, called as bractate, and small structures outgrowths are called as a bracteole, so called as a bracteolate. So petiolate, then bracteolate, and next part to that of the thalamus, on which these four whorls are present on that receptacle structure. And these four whorls are called as the most important part in the flowering structures. The outer two whorls and inner two whorls. Outer two whorls are generally calyx and corolla. They are called as a non-essential whorl, not essential to that a particular reproduction, but it is most important. Let us discuss here next part. This outermost whorl is called as a calyx. Calyx is generally green in color, no doubt functions in photosynthesis. Some are modified structures. Some calyx are modified into the spines for the protection of the flowers. Some are also modified into the spores for the storing of the honey to attract the insects. So number of modifications are present. Let us discuss the modifications of the sepals. Now individually these sepals are then arranged on this thalamus, and this arrangement is also different from flower to flower. That means what? That is the as per the estivation types, either valvate, twisted form, or imbricate form. So depending upon the arrangement of the sepals and that petals in bud condition, how do they are overlap one to another, it is called as a estivation. This is the most important part. Later we discuss in detail in the next video. The second most part is a corolla. This corolla is a particularly colored structures. No doubt. Some of the flowers are present in the angiosperms. They doesn't do color. But here, most of the cases, the flowers are colored due to the colored petals. Why these petals are colored? Due to the presence of anthocyanin pigment. But it has to be most important that the colors have been attracted the different types of the agents, and these agents are pollinating agents. Say for example insects. For the coloration pattern, the insects are attracted toward the flower for trapping of the some things which are present in the flower, that is called as a honey. So these petals are mostly colored. The next most important florals, that is the androcema and gynoecium. These are the androcema and this is the gynoecium. Androcema, that means individually called as a stamen. Stamen is a part constituted with three distinct parts: filament, connective and anther lobes. Filament either free or united. If they are free, it is called as polyandrous in condition, and if they are united as per union and cohesion of that case, they called as a syngenesis or synandrous. But these filaments are mostly free polyandrous conditions, and the sterile part, while the fertile part is anther, that is the anther lobes to produce the pollens on microspores and gives rise to the male gametophyte in the stamens. The third-most part, that is the gynoecium, which is innermost. It is also called as the pistil. It is also called as the carpel. And carpel or pistil constituted by three distinct parts, and these three distinct parts are ovary, style and stigma. A basally swollen part, globular swollen part or variously shaped part is called as a ovary. Ovary constitute to produce the ovules after fertilizations. The second-most part is elongated part. In some cases, it is a very short plant called as a style, and style is provide the space for the pollen tube. And terminal portion is called as a stigma. Stigma receives the pollens, and these pollens are germinated on the surface of the stigmatic portions due to the some of the chemicals has to be produced, that is the sugary chemicals, which has to responsible for the germinating of the pollens, and this germination of the pollens has been takes place either on the this stigmatic portion or after pollination and forming the male gametophyte, and this male gametophyte produce the two male gametes and travel through this pollen tube. That is why this style has to be coming as a space for the traveling of the pollen tube towards the ovary or ovules. So this is, this constituted part is a flower, and this flower in the angiosperm is the most important things when we have to study the angiosperm or flowering plant. If you have to know the characteristics of the flower structure, typical flower structure, we know that about the peculiarity of that each species or various plants differently. Say for example, number of things. In Papilionaceae, the flower is a very peculiar one. That means it is maxillary form of the flower. Papilionaceous type of the corolla. So I identify that these flowers are grouped under the family Fabaceae or the Papilionaceae. In this number of plant cases, from this flower, corolla has to know. From this flower, the forms and shape of the calyx and the corolla has to be recognized, and depending upon that recognized structures, they becoming as one of them have to be maybe a peculiar structures to identify that particular species or the families. So we have to understand this flower and flower structures. आले लक्षात. फ्लावर हे अत्यंत महत्त्वाचं आहे, आणि फ्लावरच्या स्ट्रक्चर्सपासून आपल्याला कशा पद्धतीनं वेगवेगळे कॅरेक्टर्स मिळतात हे महत्त्वाचं आहे. फ्लावर डिस्क्राईब करत असताना किंवा डिस्कस करत असताना आपल्याला फ्लावरचा प्रत्येक पार्ट हा माहीत असला पाहिजे, आणि त्या प्रत्येक पार्टच्या नुसार आपण ज्या ज्या वेळेला तो पार्ट किनली ऑब्झर्व करत असतो त्यावेळेला त्याचे काही ना काही वैशिष्ट्य असतात. दॅट इज द पिक्युलर कॅरेक्टर, ती नोट डाऊन केले पाहिजे. आणि हे जे किन कॅरेक्टर्स आहेत, किनली ऑब्झर्वड कॅरेक्टर आहे, दॅट इज पिक्युलर कॅरेक्टर आहे, हे आपल्याला बऱ्याचशाच प्लांट स्पेसीजचं किंवा ग्रुपचं आपल्याला आयडेंटिफिकेशन देऊ शकतात. सो टेक्सॉनॉमीमध्ये फ्लावर स्ट्रक्चर अत्यंत महत्त्वाचं आहे, की ज्यापासून आपल्याला आयडेंटिटी ऑफ दॅट पर्टिक्युलर स्पेसीज और प्लांटची मिळू शकते. आणि ज्या वेळेला आपण फील्डला जात असतो किंवा स्टडी टूरला जात असतो त्यावेळेला आपल्या उघड्या डोळ्याने आपल्याला हावर पाहू शकतो. उघड्या डोळ्यांनी आपण त्याचा अभ्यास करू शकतो. आपल्याला कुठल्याही केमिकलची आवश्यकता नसते. एंजिओस्कोपमध्ये कुठल्याही इन्स्ट्रुमेंटची आवश्यकता नसते. आपले 2 डोळे शाबूत व्यवस्थित असतील तर आपल्याला सर्व काही व्यवस्थित अभ्यासता येतं. पण त्यासाठी आपल्याला बेसिक थिंग्ज ह्या सगळ्या माहीत असल्या पाहिजे की जेणेकरून आपण अँजिओस्पर्म चांगल्या पद्धतीनं शिकू शकू. थँक्यू.